My name is Paul Wolver. I'm the owner of Pinellas Power Products. This is my extended run fuel kit for the Pulsar GD95BISCO as well as the GenMax GM9000iE and iED. As you had probably figured out from that, this kit will work on the gasoline version and on the dual fuel or propane version. Item number one, the fuel tank and the generator should both be on the ground. The only reason why I'm doing this demo with them both up in the air like that is because number one, I'm old and I don't like crouching down. Number two, it's much easier to shoot the video and you get better vision and better clarity with the generator and the fuel tank at waist height. A little bit about the dual fuel versus the gasoline only version. The fuel selector valve is right here, and it has the off position, gasoline and propane. Now I am told, or I have seen evidence on the internet that states that the early versions of these generators had a manual choke as opposed to an auto choke. I have never seen the manual choke versions. However, we both know that you never see anything false information on the internet. But at any rate, so the manual choke versions for propane, you would turn it to the on position just like this, and then with the on position being like this, you would turn it all the way to like this for propane and choke for starting it. The gasoline position is right here with the knob at this angle, and in order to start it on the early gasoline versions, you'd rotate the knob all the way to like this, or gasoline and choke. And then once you started it, you'd rotate the knob back to the run position. So at any rate, with my kit, you're going to get everything that you saw in the installation instruction video if you watched that first. If you didn't watch that first and you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to get more information on this, if you look in the description section of this video right below, you'll see the link to my website in a couple of different places. Please go to my website and read up on this kit and watch this video and the installation instruction videos and the safety video and so on. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. That's what I'm here for. At any rate, my kit will come with everything that you see installed in the installation video. Plus, it'll come with a quick disconnect fitting to install in your remote tank and a new hose, not this one that I'm just showing you, which is 3 meters long, which is, if your brain works in feet and inches, that's about 9.5 feet. The kit does not come with a tank itself because different people are going to want different size tanks, anywhere from 3 gallons to 300 gallons. And it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to have a tank shipped across the country to your location when you can pick one up at Bass Pro Shops or Boaters World or any local marina to get a marine tank, or you could use some other types of tanks, and I won't get into all the different possibilities. At any rate, the kit comes with a quick disconnect fitting that you would screw into the tank, like I've got screwed in here. The hose has an arrow on the prime bulb indicating the direction of fuel flow, which is obviously from the tank to the generator. Each end of the hose has an arrow showing the direction of fuel flow. This one points this way, so you know it goes on the fuel tank end. And this one has an arrow pointing this direction, so you know it goes on the generator end. And real quickly, I use Yamaha Marine fuel fittings in my kits. So to snap onto them, and both the generator and the tank end are identical as far as this is concerned, you would squeeze in on the tab and push in, and it snapped in place. To undo it, you'd squeeze the tab. Very quick and simple. So you would take the end of the hose with an icon of a fuel tank and an arrow pointing this direction, and you'd snap it onto the fuel tank. Then you would come over to the generator, and here is the fuel inlet port on the generator. So you would squeeze the tab on the fuel fitting and snap it into place. When you get your kit, the hose will be full of air as opposed to full of gasoline. So the first step you're going to need to do is purge all the air out of the hose. To do that, you would move the fuel selector valve from the off position to the gasoline position, and that's with the blade pointing in this direction. You then pump the prime bulb, and you'll feel fuel transferring. As soon as the prime bulb is firm, continue to pump about 3 or 4 more pumps, because you're taking gasoline out of the tank, displacing the air that's in the hose, putting it into the generator, displacing the air that's in the fuel filter and in my fuel pump and in the other portions of the kit. So you pump it about 3 or 4 additional times, and it pushes the air out of the way and fills it with fuel. Then, if you are running the early style, or supposed early style, like I say, I haven't actually seen one myself, you would move the fuel selector valve all the way to the choke position, which would be like this, turn the master switch on, and push the start button to start the generator. I'm not going to be starting it here because we are in a small enclosed room, and carbon monoxide being what it is. If you already own one of these generators, you know exactly how they sound, so we don't need to start it and run it and blow us out of here with exhaust fumes. If you, shut that off. So you would turn it to the on position, turn the master switch on, push the start button to start the generator. Once the generator was running, you would move the selector to the off position. And this is to pull from the remote tank only. If the fuel selector is in the on position, it's pulling fuel from the stock tank. There is a decal with these instructions on it. And just remember quite simply, off position is pulling fuel from my remote tank, and the on position is pulling fuel from the stock tank. If you have it in the on position and my tank is hooked up, it'll pull all the fuel out of the stock tank and then stall. It won't pull fuel out of my remote tank until the fuel selector valve is in the off position. The operation on the stock tank remains exactly as it was in the owner's manual. And by that I mean, yes, you can absolutely run off the stock tank. I get that question all the time. If you want to run off the stock tank, you don't bother to hook up my hose. You do it exactly the same way it says in the owner's manual, which is the same way that you've been doing it right along until you install my kit on it. You simply turn the fuel on or turn it to choke if you got an early style, start the generator up, and away you go. If you're watching this video on YouTube, as I stated earlier, there is a link below where you can go to my website to get more information on this kit. If you have any questions after going to my website, please give me a call, ask any questions you want, or email me with any questions you want. Keep in mind, I do not monitor any chat rooms or any YouTube communications, so please do not attempt to get in touch with me through the YouTube comments, links, or anything like that. I simply do not have time to monitor anything other than my own email or a phone call if you wish to get in touch with me that way. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me, and I thank you for your time.